Back now on Triad Today, time to talk about women veterans. They're very important to this country and we appreciate their service. They also need support and once in a while, and so we have two folks here that help do that. And we're going to talk with them right now. On my immediate right, our good friend, Sandy Jolley, has been here many times before, always glad when we can get her back. She's Program Coordinator of Veterans Services for Goodwill Industries in Northwest North Carolina. Next to her, our friend Don Timmons, who is Veteran Support Coordinator at Hospice Palliative CareCenter in Winston-Salem, which, as you may know from some of the newspaper items, has now changed its name to Trellis and will be up and running with that name in full, I guess, shortly.
In the fall.
In the fall, but just a little preview of that. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you, Jim.
I'm going to ask both of you the same question from two different perspectives very quickly. Sandy, starting with you, what kind of services in general does Goodwill offer to veterans?
We do employment and training, so and everything else they need to make sure that they have a living sustainable wage and giving back to the community.
Coming out of the military, trying to make sure they can put those skills to work and that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Don, same question for you from the hospice side. What kind of support do you give veterans?
Well, about 20% of our patients and patients across the country who are hospice patients are veterans. So we belong to an organization called We Honor Veterans, and it helps us interact and just work with veterans at end of life.
Here's a question for both of you, and I'll start with Sandy. Why is it important to support women vets in particular? Because when you've been on the show before, we talk about vets in general.
Right.
Why is it important to support women vets?
Well, one of the things about women veterans is that they are basically unsung. They don't usually are the ones that wear the hats or anything that shows that they are a veteran. You see them every day and you don't even know it. So we want to make sure that the women veterans get the recognition that they deserve. And
in what specific ways? You don't have to tell me everything, but maybe give an example of a specific way that you support and help women veterans in particular.
Well, one of the things we have just recently started working with an organization that does yoga for veterans. And so they have an opportunity for women veterans and all veterans, but traditionally women are more likely to go to yoga.
Yeah.
And we're looking at other avenues to try to help our women veterans.
From your perspective on the hospice side, Don, why is it important to support women veterans?
Well, women in general make probably 80% of the healthcare decisions, for one thing. And in North Carolina, there are almost 80,000 women veterans.
Wow.
So it's a large population. And they, as Sandy was saying, they sometimes go underserved and under-identified.
Always looking after the people around them and caring for people around them, not really putting themselves first, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, I want to review, as time winds down here, I want to make sure I get all three of these events in very quickly. There's three events we want to tell you about. Sandy, let me start with you quickly. Tell me about the Veterans Experience Action Center.
That's actually going to be it's going to be April 26th and 27th. It's a claims clinic. So if anybody has a claim that they need to follow up on or to file or want to find out where they are in the rating process, those kinds of things.
As everybody saw up on screen, it's 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Goodwill offices, the headquarter offices in Winston-Salem. Now, Sandy, while I'm right here with you, tell me about the Women Military Veterans, it's short for, Summit and Expo on May the 2nd. That's not right here, that's in Raleigh, right?
That's correct, it's in Raleigh, and it is the state Women Veterans Summit and Expo. We do it every 2 years. This is the third year, I'm pretty sure it's the third year we've been doing this, but it's every other year. So we want to make sure people throughout the region and throughout the state know that it's going to be available.
And then closer to home, wrap us up here, Don, you have a salute to women's veterans on Sunday, June 10th, and that's at Benton Convention Center, right?
Yes, it is.
What's going to happen there?
Well, right now we have about 250 women veterans signed up. We're hoping to have over 300, but it's just a day to recognize and honor them for their service.
I just think that's great. I appreciate both of you doing this. And up on screen, let's put the Goodwill website up for more information about some of these events, www.goodwillnwnc.org. And for our radio listeners, again, www.goodwillnwnc, which stands for Northwest North Carolina.org. And I hope you'll look at that and salute our veterans, all veterans, and in particular as we talk about women's veterans. Thank you.
Thanks
for
for having us.
We'll be right back.